Hi, this is Tanya Robinson, and I want to thank you for watching In Camera Review.
Now to some pro tips that you can share for the new practitioners like myself. If you had your wish, what are the 5 things you would want from lawyers who appear in your courtroom?
Well, I want them to be prepared. I want them to be respectful of one another and the court. What would I want? I mean, those are the 2 main things that jump out.
Include what you don't want to, if that's easier.
I mean, what I don't want rudeness. No, I don't want people unprepared. I don't want people constantly arguing with one another or interrupting me. I want people to be respectful of the court and to treat each other in that manner. I don't care if you hate each other outside the courtroom. I want you to treat each other with respect when you're in my courtroom. So those are the main things.
Those seem like reasonable requests. Generally, what are 5 pro tips you could, or sort of professional practice tips for new lawyers that you can offer or share?
Number 1, I would really recommend getting a mentor starting out. That can be invaluable because when you're first starting out, you really don't know what you don't know, and you can get yourself into some trouble. And it's hard enough getting that bar card. You don't want to jeopardize it. So if you can have somebody who can kind of give you some direction and point out some pitfalls that you may be heading towards, I think that's a good thing to do. I think it's also very important to be cognizant of your integrity and the fact that people are going to remember things that you do. And if you damage your integrity, that can follow you for a long time. And I know that a lot of young attorneys, they're very invested in their particular positions, and it's win at all costs. And you got to be very cognizant that you don't want to sacrifice your integrity in trying that victory. That it's not always win at all costs. There are certain things. Put in the work, and that kind of goes back to being prepared when you're in court. That's something that judges, I think everybody notices when somebody's prepared and knows what they're doing and works hard. It definitely makes a difference, and it makes an impact on others who are watching you. And everybody watches you. I know in the criminal realm, it's fairly tight-knit units in Alameda County, and people get reputations. You know who the good attorneys are, you know who the bad ones are, and you want to be in the former, not the latter. Some other things. Don't feel like you have to take, and this goes more towards those that are in solo practice, that come out immediately and go into solo practice. Be careful not to take cases that you're not qualified to take. When I was an attorney and was mentoring some younger attorneys that had just come into the profession, I remember one who was going to take a death penalty case, and I was like, no, you don't want to do that right now. You're not qualified to do that. You can really get into some serious trouble there. And again, you don't want to sacrifice your bar card that you worked so hard to get. So I think those are the main things.
Those are very excellent, excellent tips. Thank you. I'm taking notes myself. How about any tips that you might have for aspiring litigators?
Well, for litigators, number one thing, you want to be very, very well versed in the evidence code. Litigation, it's all about getting the evidence in that's going to further your cause, and knowing how to get that in, how to keep evidence out that that is damaging to you. It's all in the evidence code, so you want to really be versed in the evidence code. Practice. Yes, I mean, for some people, it comes very naturally just speaking in public. Other people, you want to practice and so that you're aware of how you're coming across to others. And you want to be cognizant of how you're coming across. You don't want to be offensive or too abrasive, but you want to be persuasive. So practicing how to deliver your arguments. That was something when I was a trial attorney. I would always rehearse closing arguments and how I was going to ask certain questions. And it all comes down to being prepared. Those that are more prepared are going to be more effective.
And lastly, do you have any book or movie or other media recommendations for new lawyers? Sounds like the rules of professional conduct, maybe.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of movies, just that would be of a lot of help from an attorney standpoint. I mean, I have a lot of movies and books that I enjoy, and I think that that are good reads and are good life experiences. Well, well, The Alchemist. The Alchemist, I think, is a very good book, and the kind of the message in that book, I think, can be applied to any life setting. So I guess it can apply to attorneys. The movie 12 Angry Men, that's a good movie, and kind of getting at an idea of how juries work and what goes on in that jury room, and how things can start out one way and end up in a totally different position. Maybe Ageless Body, Timeless Mind by Deepak Chopra. Again, that's more, can be applied more towards any type of life experience. But I find that in The Alchemist, the messages in those books and the teachings have been very helpful to me and just how I view life.